Every image you have in your head of hell, the fog, the river of the dead, the demons, you didn't get that from Dante. You got it from one man. And he wasn't even supposed to make it. Welcome back to the Blaze of Art. Today we're going into the Inferno, not Dante's words, but the images that hijacked the whole world's imagination for the next 150 years. Gustave Doré, born in 1832, was an artist who at the age of 16 was already the highest paid illustrator in France. By 22 he'd worked with major publisher Louis Hachette on popular literary editions, Rabelais, Balzac, hundreds of illustrations churned out at a pace almost no one else could match. He wasn't trained in an academy. He was self-taught, obsessive, and famous for drawing directly onto the woodblock rather than sketching first, a habit that terrified the engravers who had to carve his work. In 1855, at just 23, he decided he wanted to illustrate Dante's Divine Comedy, but not a modest edition. A lavish, oversized folio unlike anything on the market, at a price point most publishers thought was commercial suicide. Hachette refused to finance it, too expensive, too risky. Doré paid the production costs himself for the first volume of Inferno, published in 1861, containing around 75 full-page wood engravings. Think about what that meant practically. Every plate had to be drawn by Doré, then physically carved into wood by a team of specialist engravers, a process that could take days per image, for a book that might not sell a single copy. It sold out almost immediately. Hachette reportedly sent Doré a telegram, "Success. Come quickly." Hachette then agreed to publish Purgatorio and Paradiso together in 1868, but by then, it was the Inferno that had already made history. This wasn't just a lucky break, it was Doré betting his entire reputation on hell, and hell paid out. Before we go deeper, if you want a simple framework for reading any artwork like this in 5 minutes, I put together a free guide. Comment the word art below and I'll send it your way. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Now, let's take a look into some of the engravings Gustave Doré created for Dante's Inferno. 1. The Dark Wood. Before hell even begins, Dante lost among tangled, twisted trees, a leopard blocking his path. This sets Doré's visual signature immediately, obsessive line work used to build psychological dread out of a landscape, not a monster. Dante never explains exactly what the dark wood symbolizes. Scholars still debate whether it's sin, despair, political exile, or a midlife crisis. He opens the poem saying he was in the middle of the journey of our life. This is the same ambiguity that made the scene irresistible to later illustrators. 2. Charon and the River Acheron. The image most viewers remember first, the ferryman refusing to carry the living across. Doré's dense cross-hatching creates fog and depth rarely seen in book illustration of the era. Critics at the time noted it felt closer to a painting than a print. Charon comes straight from Greek mythology, not Christian tradition. Dante deliberately mixed pagan and Christian cosmology, and Doré leaned into that ambiguity by giving Charon a look closer to a demon than a Greek ferryman. This same figure inspired later depictions of Charon in film and video games. Doré's version, more than the original myth, is the template most artists still copy. 3. Paolo and Francesca. The lovers swept eternally by the winds of lust, one of the most reproduced images from the entire series, still referenced in film and pop culture today. Doré balances tenderness and horror in the same composition, a technique linked to his admiration for Michelangelo's figures. Francesca da Polenta was a real historical woman, murdered along with her lover Paolo by her own husband. Dante placed people he'd actually heard about, or knew of, directly into hell. 4. The Falsifiers. The lowest circle before treachery itself, counterfeiters, impersonators, and liars, tearing at each other in filth and disease. Centers on the vicious argument between Master Adam, a counterfeiter bloated with dropsy, and Sinon, the Greek liar who convinced Troy to bring in the wooden horse. Master Adam was a real counterfeiter, executed in Dante's era for forging Florentine gold coins, another case of Dante dragging a real, recent scandal straight into eternal punishment. This exact canto is the source for Bouguereau's 1850 painting Dante and Virgil in Hell, the brutal, muscular fight between two damned souls that made Bouguereau's career. Doré's engravings didn't just illustrate the Inferno. For most of the last 150 years, they've defined how the public visualizes it, appearing in hundreds of later editions across dozens of languages. His work bridges romantic sublime landscape painting, Michelangelesque anatomy, and mass print culture, reaching an audience no single painting hanging in one museum ever could. The Blaze of Art is an independent project born in Argentina to rescue and preserve the most fascinating stories in art history. If you wish to support our mission and help us keep creating, please subscribe, follow our social media, support us via PayPal using the links below. Every small contribution keeps this flame alive.